Alright, it's the Real UFO Show. Please like and subscribe. Today on the UFO Show with Mike Brown, we're going to be checking out MUFON reports. A lot of them. So, let's go ahead and speed through and check out these MUFON reports. Let's try to understand them. These are some of the images of the UFO that's real. So, I have a YouTube, and you'll see it's Michigan UFO. And so it's difficult to locate, but it is there on the YouTube. So that is the video, and it is August 6, 2014. It says 11:03 here, but the data down there is 22:02. That would be 10. So you look again, and August 6th, 2014. It's now at 10:03, but it's still at 10:02 below. We'll figure this out. Real UFO. We're going to be looking at words like unambiguously. That's in a manner that is not open to more than one interpretation. This will be used in the reports. We've got a National UFO Reporting Center report here. This is from January 20th, 2015. And it says this is August 6th, 2014. It says it's at 21:03. That would probably be 9:03. So we have to fix that. And that's with Peter Davenport. And then we're going to find out what he thinks about it. And we're going to get a breakdown of that. We have the CIA in February of 2015. They had their report. Then we have the MUFON Stalker. This is MUFON's UFO Stalker report. This is for February 15th. And it is 2015. And my submission shows 2014. It was August 7th at 4:03. So they're probably showing 4:03 in the morning. So there's all kinds of time changes. That's a MUFON Stalker report, which reflects in the Daniel J. Snow report from MUFON for February 15th, 2015. So February 15th, 2015, Daniel Snow has his report, speaking of the other reports attached. And he'll be asking what is required so that he can make the report. We'll be going over that. We'll be looking at the chart that he made, the grid, and it shows the flight path of a jet outbound and the UFO, but they'll get it all upside down, and we'll look at that. This will be his stinging report back to me as he concludes, and he'll conclude around February, looks like 26th of 2015. So, yeah. Then we'll go ahead and analyze what he thinks. We'll look at something from Art Prize of 2017 in August. That was when they had their Art Prize picture. I had my picture in March of 2017, so I was a little earlier. And yeah, you can almost see the similarity between the two images. You have to figure out which one is the UFO under filter and which one is Art Prize, and trying to be fancy like that. We'll look at the ebook called Mock UFO, and this is something that I created for October 2018 at Amazon Kindle. And this book is 100 pages. This will explain how the alien shows up just from the UFO, and how all these images and reports all go together and make the UFO look the way it does. And here is Jan Harzan, the leader of MUFON back in 2019. This is May. He sends me and his friend Mark D'Antonio this basic message. Now, MUFON is a mutual UFO network, so we'll see what he says here. But it isn't long after, around May 20th, where I speak to Mark D'Antonio, even around the 21st of May. So that is in 2019. Well, he gets the video, and then he replies in September of 2019 about discovering this in his spam folder. So we will read about how Mark received that video. This is July of 2020. They caught the Jan Harzan leader. It's Huntington Beach Police. And yeah, they caught him online trying to chase down kids. And he doesn't really work with the UFO very much, but he sure did help D'Antonio to decide. So I wanted more MUFON reports, so I went to Doug Wilson at MUFON. This is August 24th of 2020. And he says, you asked for my professional opinion. So we'll go into what Doug Wilson says for his professional opinion. And then he has his explanations of what he's seeing, and he has his lines. And then I got his reply, but then I slipped over to another report from MUFON. I said, Ken, take a look. So Ken, I gave him the instructions. The MUFON is in the right side of the video, so he can't miss. And I embed the video down low. So what does he do? He says, because of the urgency of your request, you see, and this is September 4th, 2020. So he's going to tell us all about his urgency. And then he goes on to have, all these, still frame, no enhancements, images showing where everything kind of was to him. But nonetheless, it's wrong. And here's his explanation and further what he was seeing. And we'll read that all the way through. Then here's his final picture on all that. So he's going to use a word called unbiased. So we're going to be ready. It's unbiased means showing no prejudice showing no prejudice for or against something impartial. Okay, well, I'm biased. We'll have to see how he does with that. It's a pass fail. And we'll go ahead and look at what's after that is Mark D'Antonio on my messenger, October 8th of 2020. And his reply, all of what he kind of thinks everything is here, and how he's not going to be hoodwinked and fooled. But he's the video analyst at MUFON now. He looks at the UFOs, and that's his job, but he just did a lot of chitty chat. And I'm going to go to Arrow. This is Mark D'Antonio. This is November 19th. He's got a new Facebook meta page here on his messenger. So I'm not his friend, and he's running a scam. Okay, and so then I'll be able to, probably explain more of that as we go. We'll get over into the art prize and how the dates are on my side and the images are too, and how they all go ahead and look just like the UFO that I'm using. So let's go and take a look at the MUFON reports. Unambiguously. Okay, this is a National UFO Reporting Center report. So this occurred on August 6, 2014, entered at 2103. Okay, it's reported on January 20th, 2015. This is out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. This was posted on January 26, 2015. The shape is a light, duration 6 minutes. The UFO looked like a star. The responding sheriff deputy and I possibly saw the UFO at 90,000 feet leaving Earth. So I just go on to explain what I had understood from it. And he replies back after I had told him everything I could, notifying FAA. He says right down here, he says, the National UFO Reporting Center, the NUFORC note is, we have looked at the photos provided by the witness, and we do not see anything that seems to us to be unambiguously related to the presence of a UFO. Peter Davenport, PD. Okay, that's Peter Davenport of National UFO Reporting Center. Nothing big to him. So I went to the CIA around the middle of February 2015, and I gave him my UFO through Air Force captain. And that was taken to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio, near Hangar 18. Pretty much where the wreckage of Area 50, pretty much where the wreckage of Roswell went before it went to Area 51. So this is a pretty prestigious place. It was put on the supercomputers, my UFO. And when they finished looking at the UFO, they had a lot of data. They had data such as refraction, like it's refracting, it's changing direction while it's moving through air, water, or glass. And so they have a laser width of 8 feet, expanding to over 30. And the whole UFO is 1,500 feet up. They have a lot of data on it. So I'm hoping Arrow will get more data. Now, Arrow is the All-Domain Anomalous Resolution Office. And they're out of the Pentagon. And they're just formed to now look at UFOs. And they'll take over for the job of MUFON and the others who can't really handle it. And they will look at the UFO. Arrow will decide what things are. So that should be good. The CIA data will be reflected in Arrow. So here I then had a MUFON UFO stalker report, and I created this. This is 2015. So this is February 15th. And they have it as it's 2014 was the UFO on August 7th at 4:03 in the morning. So it wasn't at 4:03 in the morning. So I just had basically, and this is the source is MUFON. Source is MUFON. It's a star-like object traveling low and slow. And they have a note at the bottom. It's in yellow. It's kind of highlighted. They highlighted it. It's like a big long sentence, maybe like 20 words. So if you want to ask MUFON what they put down there, they put the smallest marginalized writing. It's probably pretty important, but you can't even really read it. It's like micro print. We'll have to ask them. And then it continues that same time, February 15th, 2015, you'll find this is the Daniel J. Snow report, and he's out of MUFON. It's a follow-up. So this is where Daniel Snow said to me, he goes, "Hey, Mike, recently you have filled 3 reports to MUFON. Your case has been assigned to me by MUFON's state director. Upon review of your photos attached to the 3rd submission, these are shots of the street lamp. Where is the object you saw? I have reviewed your video 10 times, pausing and looking at different positions and time, but I do not see any objects. See my attachment. I have gridded off a snapshot at the 7-second mark. I have overlaid an example of what I need. So he will say here, what I need. Note, street lamp is at grid F8. Example path defined by first seen at 7 seconds. Part 1, grid A3. Last seen at 21 seconds. Part 2, grid D10. Please provide the following information. A. Object first seen at what second? Part 1, grid of what? B. Object last seen at what second? Part 2, grid what? C. How long after sunset was the event? D. What is your street address? Needed for credibility assessment. E. Provide copy of police report. F. Provide copyright documentation. G. Provide copy of photos you reference. H. Provide documentation of your Air Force contact and results provided. Thank you. Daniel J. Snow. So, yeah. So it goes on. And here's his grid page. So to explain it, he goes, well, it's first seen at 1. There's 1. Your first seen here at 1. And your last seen at 2. So he's saying here's 2. So he's saying this is the street lamp. This is the street lamp to them. These are professionals in the MUFON, and they're going to call it a street lamp. So these are all the grids. This is A, B, C, D, E, F. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, on and on. So there's his page. So he'll go like this. It'll be Daniel J. Snow, February, I'll say 26th of 2015. And this is case number 63329er. Opinion summary. Okay, opinion summary. Dear Mr. Brown, here is my case opinion. Summary. Hoax keystroke. Hoax keystroke. Right there. Okay. Hoax keystroke. Fine. So to them, it's a hoax keystroke, which to me is not really the best news that I could ever ask for. I mean, that's pretty bad. You know, you worked this hard and you got nothing but a hoax keystroke there. And so he just says in this case 63329, it is an opinion summary. Dear Mr. Brown, here is my case opinion summary. Hoax keystroke. Natural phenomenon or man-made object. The following is a review of the simplest possibilities that could be the stimulus for this event. Satellites, ISS. Okay, this is a common occurrence happening when skies are clear and light pollution levels are low. The best opportunity for viewing satellites is during the hours after sunset when the sunlight reflects off the surface or solar panels. They are numerous and travel in many different trajectory paths. Yeah. Use of the Stellarium software tool is very useful to help verify what is being viewed for planets, stars, and satellites. The ISS, in particular, is the source of many sightings and as it is much brighter than Venus, crosses the entire viewing sector in 4 to 7 minutes, and is a constant light source with no blinking lights and pauses by indifferent, no blinking lights and passes by in different trajectories every hour and a half. Also, a new type satellite has been launched exhibiting a bright blinking LED light, i.e., FitSat-1 flashing satellite. Initial witness description fits an ISS flyover observation. So the conclusion is, using Occam's rule, that the simplest of two or more competing theories is preferable, and that an explanation for unknown phenomenon should first be attempted in terms of what is already known. Entities must not be multiplied beyond necessity. The visual characteristics, flight path, inclinations, travel speed, and object size do not violate the premise. This event was stimulated by the ISS, but the account seems to be embellished, and video proof was untruthful, as no object or pursuit aircraft is visible on video. The witness event time provided was 7 minutes after sunset, which does not match video timing of well after sunset. Witness provided snapshots with analysis JPEGs along with case 63339, but all are of the street lamp in lower right corner of video. Hoax keystroke Daniel J. Snow, MUFON, chief field investigator. So he goes on to say that the visual, well, let's just put it in this way. He has a conclusion. He says, using Occam's rule, okay, he's going to go ahead and say that the visual characteristics, flight path, inclination, the travel speed, and object size do not violate the premise. This event was stimulated by the ISS, but the account seems to be embellished. Okay, and the video proof was untruthful, as no object or pursuit aircraft is visible on video. Well, there is no pursuit aircraft. I only said I gave up the pursuit of any more video because it wasn't showing. So giving up the pursuit of video is only giving up the pursuit of video. Well, that's what they say. So let's look at our prize 9. That's another thing that we'll get over into. A true thing that he was emerging around 2017. And then I released my ebook in 2018. This will really explain the UFO that I have. It's a valid UFO, and I hope to someday check and see how my book sales have done. I haven't checked since 2018. I never really checked much, so maybe I'll see how they're doing. But I would like to take what I get from that and invest more in some good shows and explain the UFOs while MUFON's lying about them. And it's going to take a little putting together. So, Jan Harzan, he says here in May of 2019, now he's the executive director of MUFON. He says, Mike, just got off the phone with our photo analyst, Mark D'Antonio. YouTube videos are notoriously poor at rendering a good shot of a UFO due to the compression algorithm YouTube uses to get the videos to take up less space. The one you referenced, Mike, Michigan UFO, August 2014, is no exception. A quick look at the video shows a street light in the lower right-hand corner with a house illuminated behind it, and the rest of the video is black. If you are referencing the light, it is most likely a street lamp. If you are seeing or saw something in the night sky, we would need the original video to be able to pull the image out of the blackness of the rest of the video to analyze it. I am copying Mark on this email should you wish to ask him any questions or provide him with the original video for further study. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you contacting MUFON and allowing us to view your video. So that's a scam. So here in 2019, you have May 20th. That would be Mark D'Antonio saying, Hi, Mike. Thank you for sending the video. I will check it out later when I get whatever. You know, I'm just stalling. I'm Mark D'Antonio, right? He's a con man. You're not going to do nothing. So the next day, May 21, I said 10-4. 10-4 valid. Enjoy the real UFO for checking. Mike, UFO person. Yeah, you got to remind him there's a person there because these are sociopaths. So on September 28th, and this was at 2019, this is from Mark D'Antonio. He finally replies back, says, hey, he goes, Hi, Mike. I searched my spam folder and found this below email that had the attachment with your 9 megabyte video file. First time I could actually see the video as shot. I asked for the info on the CIA and the scientists, and you told me more unverifiable details about them, but no names. I would like to talk to them since we are all apparently studying your video. We should all be able to talk. Can you please forward me their contact information so I can, one, verify their credentials, and two, hear their findings directly from them? As investigators, we never do analysis in a vacuum. I will also contact Dan Snow, whom I know, who you said was able to analyze your video as well. I found out today for the first time from you that he had looked at your video and pronounced it genuine. Now that I have finally have your video, I too will look at it. I had thought it was a dead issue. Also, can you send me a link to your paper you wrote about the sighting? As I mentioned, I know you are selling it, but I cannot be buying everyone's paper that they write. Let me know. And thank you, Mark D'Antonio. So another sociopath. And so then it was July of 2020, probably July 3rd. MUFON caught Jan Harzan. All smiling there, is all smiles. This is Huntington Beach Police. They posted this here July 14th. Harzan 65 caught with another guy helping to corral kids online. They don't work on UFOs, they scam it. So it was a bad time to get the UFO checked out with this scammer enlightening D'Antonio. Yeah, the way he was. So I then went August 24th, 2020. I went to Doug Wilson at MUFON. And I said, Doug, check out the UFO. So he said, you asked for my professional opinion in regards to your materials. I have looked at your video and photos and have concluded, in my opinion, that the UFO and the Mercury light are in fact one and the same. The same light seems to have been photographed twice at different angles. I have attached two images that I believe prove my point. If this case were reported to me, I would conclude that it is a hoax. All the other images that were produced by manipulating the original images seems to me meaningless. So he just goes on with the images I sent. This is me standing here with a silhouette used in my place, and here's a Mercury light, and here's a UFO I patched in so it would look like a full picture, and here's the jet taking off. So he didn't like that. He does videos, but now he's onto a photo. He's gonna go get this photo now. He's a scammer. Says the UFO has been added in, as can be seen by the edge the arrows indicate. Well, here's a genius right here. He's gonna show, he can see where, these lines are. It's a little dark contrast. You can see it on my phone, but over the internet this way, it's a little tough to see. But you can almost kind of see how this intrudes right here, just to show you that, yeah, no harm, no foul. I'm just trying to show where placement of the objects are. He's trying to show that a picture like this is not good for ufology. But I have a video, but he's going to say this isn't good. See, these are scammers. What about the video? So he's just, he's ignoring it. He's going to go ahead with his pride and say, yeah, What you call a UFO, I call a street light. See, it looks the exact same. See? But see, this is what I'm telling you as Mike Brown. This is a building. This is called a tan building. This is called not a tan building. So tan, not tan, not tan, tan, not tan, 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 not tan, 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 tan. You got to figure it out. Tan, not tan, not tan. So people are like, they're the same. Scam. So he's pointing these arrows and saying these are the same. When you point here, you're going to get the same deal. You're not. You're getting perfect lines machined out. In here with the UFO, it's one big beam. But to them, it's all the same. And they'll have these drop down lines that end up absolutely falling nowhere in particular, so that they make it fall absolutely nowhere particular again. In fact, they even blend it in the light. You're going to barely see it because they don't care. They don't care about where they're showing everything. They don't have no eye for anything here. They're scammers. So they go, the lines on the right correspond to the lines on the left. And then they go, they said it seems obvious that the UFO on the left is the same as the light on the right. The two images were taken at different angles and either at different settings, or the one on the right was filtered, but two images are the same. So they run a scam. And you have to figure, what is their scam? So you continue. And you decide you're going to go here September 3rd, and you're going to go 2020 to MUFON. You're going to talk to Ken at MUFON. So this time you're going to be careful because they're really snide at MUFON. You just go, the UFO is in the right side of video. The security, Mercury light, is in the lower left. UFO right, Mercury light left. And then you embed your video and show them. Well, you put it too much like this, like a simple way, a primitive way, and they get offended. And they go, you think you got to repeat the UFOs on the right? You already said the UFOs on the right. They're so offended, they're like, we're not going to listen to this. So here's September 4th, 2020. This is from Ken. This is Ken St. John, Chief Operating Officer at MUFON International. He says, Mike, because of the urgency of your request, we placed a priority on the analysis and are pleased to provide you with our findings. Per your request on 3 September 2020 at whatever PM, we have analyzed the video clip you provided as a file name August 6, 2014 at 2202 MP4. The report dated 4 September 2020 was received at 9 whatever and is attached. From our conversation yesterday, I feel confident that the finding is not what you were hoping for. However, as with all our data analysis, the results are unbiased by presumption and stand as stated in the report. Regards, Ken St. John, Chief Operating Officer, MUFON International. So Ken St. John's going to go ahead and go here. I've got figure 1. This is a still frame at the 16th second. No enhancement. There's the UFO. But what does he say? It's just figure 1 to him. Nothing. So he goes on to say, we have reviewed the video file, August 6, 2014, submitted as evidence to us, and running this 23-second normally does not show anything unusual in the video. However, upon enhancing this video using a 4-level curve, which reveals 4 distinct luminous levels hidden within the image, we did find something beginning at the 17-second mark. There is a flash of light above the street lamp. This light appears to be blinking on and off at the rate of every 0.100 second. The duration of the flash is approximately 0.033 second. Flashes were recorded on the following frames. So they have them, 17, 1703, 1706, on and on. So they said, this appears to be an aircraft running light or anti-collision light. We have included 3 images in this report to validate our findings. See below. So here is figure 3, still frame at the 17th second. First recorded flash of light above the street lamp. And you go up here and they've got like this dot up here. And it's the jet way up there. So they're pretty proud they caught the jet. Don't need the jet checked out. But I'll tell you what, they're pretty snide. So like when I had told Doug Wilson, I had said message received and understood, yet are you altogether confident in your report to me? So this was August 26th of 2020, and he responded August 26th of 2020, 8 whatever in the morning. He said, as confident as I can be, given the quality of data I had to work with. But he was just looking at photos. So what do you think Ken will say? Well, he said the word unbiased, and that means showing no prejudice for or against something, impartial. Well, Mark D'Antonio showed up on my messenger. This is October 8th, 2020. And this is actually Mark D'Antonio. And I was chatting with Mark, and I said, here Mark goes, Mike, why do you call yourself the real UFO guy? You may aunt to be more sensitive to those people who also have equal, if not greater, evidence for UFOs than your one singular photo you took of an anomaly that anyone can easily suggest is a streetlight artifact. It comes across as somewhat arrogant. So I am suggesting you be a bit more careful is all. So I responded, and he goes, what do you mean I happen? So that's a scammer, Mark D'Antonio, and his streetlight call. So now, November 19th, pretty much here, will show, well, trust me, Mark D'Antonio is Meta page's messenger page. He's saying I'm not his friend, and he's a CEO at Sky Tour Livestream, nonprofit organization, and works at host at KGRA Digital Broadcasting, and a public figure at A&E Arts and the Entertainment part right there. So that's a scammer. So what I could do is I could jump over and I could go back and explain such things, such as if you look at the grid page, some of my explanations for the grid page are, this is a jet that is going outbound. So the jet is traveling up this line, and this line was drawn by MUFON. This grid was drawn by MUFON. So when they see the blink of a light above what they're calling a street lamp, that's actually a UFO that they're disrespecting. Okay, they don't have any respect, and they need to have some respect for it, but it's impossible. So I'm okay with that. But they're going to also use their respect to say it's a jet going nowhere. They're saying it's a satellite going across the sky from west to east, or it's the ISS, International Space Station. It's anything. It's the FitSat. It's a blinking. It's anything, but it's a jet actually. So see, here's the two. And they said the video ended. Well, if the video ended there, it actually starts there. That way the jet is traveling up the hill. So when the video is ended, the jet is leaving town and the video is ending. It's way up here. But they get it backwards. They run a scam. They run a scam. And I was standing like right down here. And the mercury light is below it. Right down there, the mercury light. So you got to use common sense. The mercury light and UFO are different. So my image of the UFO is right here under filter. So what happens here is when you pan down, it creates a blurred image. And when you put a filter on it, like hue, Norray, vintage, X-ray, contrast, tint, brightness, you do all these things and you change the actual UFO's real color and you bring out other distinctions. I was going to enter this into Art Prize. Art Prize is an art function that is in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where you submit your art to try to please the planet and please the world and receive some money, and you can create more art. But my art was stolen. I was going to enter this. So this is a screenshot, and it's all from March 18th of 2017, but it's earlier, but this is one screenshot showed this date. But March of 2017 is early. So you go and you look at something like Art Prize, and they have a date where their image is August of 2017. So they have this Art Prize, and they have this image right here that they made. Somebody made this, and he's probably over in Europe, I think, is where he hails from. He made the image, and then he won, and then they decided to use his image on the front of their Art Prize, Art Prize 9 banner ad. But see, my UFO looks very, very similar to the UFO look that they have for their art. And they're just calling it a splash of like pop art, right? Everything's just all pop art. I'm this way. Oh, cool me. I'm this way. I'm filled in over here. Now I'm not. Now I'm over here. Now I'm the dot. And I tricked you because here's the white in the center. But here, if you look close in the center, it's also going to appear like it's white. So see, they're going to match it up. They're going to have, a blue arc right here on their drawing. So I have a blue arc on mine up here. It's real good. I'm going to have, straight image and an angle image. Straight and angle. So they go, yep, that's it. Let's go straight. Let's go angle. Yep, good. I'm with it. Everything. Tail off, taper off. They even took the broken part. I was going to use that broken part because I had that on many of my UFO lasers. For example, here's the laser and the broken part. It'd be a good chance to put it there. That is the laser after all. See, but they're kind of angling it for themselves. And at the end of the laser, it tapers off as a terminus. That's actually laser bits from the real UFO. And I would say that these laser bits are maybe 500 feet off the ground. It's quite a decent length laser UFO, 1,500 feet up. So what they did is they kept the pink and the white and the color and the red, and they made the images for their future art prizes, but it's all a bounce off of the stolen art prize that they use. And that's just the Calder, which is a piece of art that's maybe 30 feet tall or something. It's over there in Grand Rapids, so it's a centerpiece. So you can go ahead and say, well, yeah, here's the UFO at the top under blur, and here's the mercury light, and they are both different. They're not the same. So what you can also do is you can say, well, one of these is one of these is going to be the UFO under filter, and one of them is going to be art prize. Art prize 9. And so you see, all you do is you just blur out all their pop garbage and all their pop fanciness that you're supposed to pay for and oogle over, and you just have the images there. And then it's just easy to just throw garbage around it and crud and junk, I'd say art bits from the 60s or something's going on here. So basically, these are one and the same. And MUFON, they should be able to tell you there's a scam being run. Definite scam. So I could skip ahead and say, if you go to Mike Brown on your YouTube and you check out UFOs, UFO and aliens, that arrow has the case number to new varieties now. That will explain to you a lot. But if you want to, you can even check out these 3 MUFON reports and more at Mike Worldwide 73. So the 3 MUFON reports on my one UFO, and all 3 are opposites, but I go ahead and explain more in detail so you can compare them and make sure that they all make sense. So here I'm asking for Dan Snow to check the UFO out, and here's the timeline. The art prize goes by, and all of a sudden, then you find right in the middle you got Jan Harzan, and it goes back to the bogus MUFON reports, and here we are today. We're gonna have to go to Arrow because they're so scammy, right down to the basic core. So the UFO stalker report is case ID 25E ISQUV, and you can only hope that's what it is. This, they said, was 2014 of August 7th at 4:03 in the morning, and they said it was reported in 2015 on February 15th. So yeah, pretty much not the best report there. So if I could say, and if I could conclude, understand these reports because they're running a lot of scams on us. So that will probably conclude this UFO report. So this is Mike Brown signing off. Real UFO.